told Holly Holm is a very big deal in Singapore. They love her over there. And they said, we specifically, the people over there, the TV networks, we want her on this card. So let's talk to Holly Holm about that and the upcoming fight. Holly, are you there?
I'm here. How's it going?
It's going great. Thank you so much for joining us. Did you know that you were that big of a deal in Singapore?
My manager had kind of just said, that they had said that if they did a card, they wanted me on it. But I still always just wait to see what really happens. I don't ever really, I don't know. I just figured if it happens, it happens. And I don't want to, oh yeah, I'm on it right now. Sorry. Sorry, that was Mr. Wiggles. I'm making sure that I made it to my interview at noon.
What a great guy. I appreciate that.
So I don't know. I mean, that's what they said, but I still don't. I just figured if it really happened, it happened, and if not, I'd just wait till the next opportunity.
Have you ever been there?
Never, but I hear I can't chew gum, or at least spit it out. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's gonna be hard for me.
Just don't spit it out. Put it in the garbage. Is that a problem?
I know, right? I don't know. I know. I never spit my gum out. I always put it in the trash, but I don't know if I can actually even have it.
Really? Is that
I don't know.
Wow.
I hear rumors.
Rumors?
I hear rumors.
Okay.
I don't know.
Well, we should look into that before you go.
Yeah, for sure.
How many days or weeks in advance do you plan on going, given the time change?
I don't think I'm going to go out any earlier than like 9 days.
Okay.
I don't want to miss my training here. My training partners are here, my coaches are here, and I want to finish my hard training here, and then I can just finish my my fight week out there. Maybe just go out a few days earlier than I normally do. But I mean, when I fought in Australia, I think there are only like 2 hours difference between Singapore and Australia, and I just went out I think 8 or 9 days in advance, and I felt good. So I acclimated just fine. So I don't really feel like I need to go any sooner.
There was some talk of you fighting some other fighters on this card, a UFC rookie, some other names were thrown out. Did that ever cross, your desk, so to speak, or was it just Bethe Correia? Was that all just kind of rumors?
I don't know what really was offered or what really was set up. A lot of times I just let my management deal with it, and I just tell them, let me know when you have a name. I don't really like to get too worked up on, my last fight before it wound up being Jermaine was, we went through Cyborg to Kat Zingano to somebody else and then to Jermaine. So I don't know. I told him, I said, at first they had mentioned maybe a Korean girl, and then it just didn't seem like that was really going to happen. I didn't really even put any thought into it too much, and then I just told him, when it happens, it happens. And there's a lot of stuff on the internet, and I always wait till I get the contract sent to me. I don't ever like to get too worked up and get my hopes up or get emotionally worked up until I actually have that contract in front of me.
Were you at all surprised and or disappointed that your appeal of the last fight in New York was not, met the way you wanted it to? Were you at all? I know we talked about it a little bit, but was there a party that was a little hopeful that it would go your way?
Well, I didn't want necessarily a victory that way. I didn't want to. I mean, who wants a win? It's not like I was like wanting them to turn it over, but a no contest maybe, or maybe just so it's not a loss on my record would be nice. But even then, it's like whatever. I always want a victory just because I did it right, and I really don't hear of a lot of fights getting overturned, so I really didn't think, I didn't get my hopes up on it. And I try to look at myself as usual, and just see what I could have done to be better anyway, instead of just putting it on her. I feel like I could have done things better, and I just need to work on that.
Was there any talk?
Work in progress.
Was there any talk at all about a rematch with Jermaine? I know that's what you wanted, but was it ever discussed?
Yeah. I think we had talked about it. We had said that we would like it. I don't know how far that went. I don't think that they really entertained the thought too much, whether it be them or whether she wasn't wanting to fight quite yet. I'm not really sure. It's like the like, you know, exact details on it. But we did ask, you know, for that fight, but now it's with Bethe, and so that's just where all my focus is going to be.
And did you consider at all remaining at 145, since it seemed like, you know, the fight week went well for you, the cut went well, you enjoyed being at 145? Did you consider that? Was that ever an option?
I just knew that I would take whatever they sent, whether it be 35 or 45. And they said 35, so okay, I'll make 35.
Would you prefer to be at 145?
It's just an easier weight cut.
Yeah.
You know, I don't have to drop quite as much water, obviously, but my walking around weight really isn't that much different, 35 to 45. So I think that really it does just come down to how strict I have to be that last week. And, you know, going so far overseas, I kind of want to get my weight pretty low before I even leave. And, you know, so that I can just feel more comfortable in flying that far. You know, I swell when I fly, and I don't really want to get, you know, put myself too far back. So I definitely want to start working now and just getting my weight a little lower. But I know I'll be able to make it. I've never missed my weight, whether it be 35 or 45.
It does kind of seem like that whole situation on 145 is a bit of a mess. And I know you're not the type to really follow the MMA news and read up on all this stuff, but have you at all paid attention to that? And are you as confused as the rest of us as to what they're planning on doing with that division?
Yeah, I have no idea what they're going to do with it. I know that there's not a lot of girls in it. Maybe they were just kind of filling it out. Maybe they're going to start, you know, filling in, you know, some more opponents. I don't know. But I also don't want to waste my energy on it. Mm-hmm. That's why I just like to fight, and I'll let the promoters do their thing. That's what they're there for. I mean, they've obviously been successful in whatever, you know, they've been doing so far, so I just let them take care of it.
Beth Correia, to me, feels like the perfect matchup for you. I was talking about this on the show a couple of weeks ago. It's a style that is very friendly against your style. We know exactly what she wants to do. Did you like this match? Like, when it was brought to you, did you say, oh, this is perfect, this is the right kind of opponent to get back on track against?
I just thought, you know what, I definitely want to perform well, I want to do well, I want to, I know that she's tough, you know, she doesn't stop really at anything, and so I definitely want to be technical in this fight, and I don't want to make it messy. I don't know if that makes sense, but I feel like, you know, she's kind of the type that could, it's not like she does use her jab and move around a little bit, but she can definitely be, but just kind of a scrappy style as well. And I don't want to make the fight look messy. I want to be a good technical fighter, and I want to, you know, be able to implement all my techniques. I want to be able to really capitalize on a lot of things in this fight. That's my plan.
She said this to a member of our team, Guilherme Cruz, just a couple of days ago about you, quote, "She's overrated. Unlike her, I'm underrated. There are a lot of holes to beat Holly. She's overrated. She's a great athlete, but not as great as many people considered her to be," end quote. What do you think of that?
Well, she's entitled to her own opinion.
Yeah.
It really doesn't do anything to me. It doesn't affect me. I know that if she says I'm an athlete, that doesn't even have anything to do with my hard work. So there's a lot of people that can sit here and judge whatever they want, but I work hard. I'm going to work hard just for her.
Do you relish the fact that this fight is happening overseas, and maybe there will be a little less media, and maybe you won't have to answer as many questions about the 3 fights since the Ronda fight and the pressure and the losing streak and all that stuff? Is that something that appeals to you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad to not really have to worry about as much of it. I mean, there's a lot of things that come with traveling. I mean, you have to leave a little earlier, different time change. There are things that create, you know, a little bit of a challenge by going over there, but there's also some things that make it a little bit easier. And so I'll just I'll appreciate the things that are easier. Not that there's not going to be any media. I know there still will be, but I know it's not going to be quite as much. And probably less distractions, just be able to kind of just have my fight week with my team and just enjoy the ride.
Is this do or die for you, Holly?
Yes, but I feel like all of them are. I mean, I definitely feel like my back's up on the wall a little bit. I feel like every fight, I need to feel that way anyway.
Did you feel that same way against Jermaine?
I did, but I don't know. Every fight has its own kind of journey. Every fight has its own, like, during training camp, things happen. During fights, things happen. So it's hard for me to really compare a lot of fights. I feel like each one has their own thing. And yes, I had different expectations of myself for the Jermaine fight. Different kind of, I did feel like it was a do or die thing. But obviously maybe not enough because I didn't do enough. So I feel very motivated to go forward. And gosh, I mean, I've got to make a stand and make a point here. I got to do something. And so I'm at the beginning of this training camp, and I'm ready to put the work in.
As a human being, not just as a fighter, are you the kind of person who likes when it feels like your back is against the wall, or there's pressure on you, or people are doubting you? Do you relish that, or do you prefer when things, when the going gets tough, the tough get going? You know that saying. Some people get a lot of anxiety. I get a lot of anxiety when I feel like there's a lot of bad things or there's a lot of doubt against me. So, what kind of person are you? How do you deal with that adversity?
I think no matter what it is, I just try to channel it to motivate me. So when you're the underdog, you're thinking, I want to prove them wrong. When you're supposed to dominate someone, you're thinking, gosh, I can't be a letdown. So I need to work hard for it. I feel like it needs to be a motivation regardless. And so no matter what it is, I try to turn it into motivation. And that's what I'm trying to do here. I mean, a lot of people are really trying to see what I'm going to do now with this. Got 3 losses in a row. What's she going to do now? And so I need to step up to the plate, and I need to prove everybody why I have this opportunity, and I want to do really well with it.
I know you've talked about in your boxing career, you've never even lost a couple in a row. In any point in your athletic life and anything, have you ever suffered this kind of, streak without winning?
No. Here we are. I'm still going to come back.
Yeah.
That's I feel like maybe all those little things help me prepare for this moment. I definitely know it's not the worst place. I definitely know life could be harder. I definitely know the situation could be harder. And so I'm just going to take it and embrace it.
It also kind of feels like to me that you're still just as popular, and and I'm not trying to get ahead of myself, but you're still very much in that mix at 135 for the belt, and obviously you just fought for the 145. Are you still kind of thinking that, hey, maybe this time next year I'm champion or I'm back in that position again? It's not a huge ladder to climb, it feels like, for you.
Absolutely. I still feel like I'm in the mix. I still feel like I'm competitive and up in the top. So you never know when that next opportunity can come.
Are you doing anything differently as far as the training is concerned, just to switch it up, to try to get back on track? Sometimes, we just had RDA on who's changed everything, and I'm not expecting that because of, the team you come from and stuff, but are you doing anything at all that's different from the last couple fights?
Not really. I think I want to have fun with it, partly too. I don't want to just constantly be stressing out on everything that I've got to, got to do this, got to that. I'm on my schedule. I got to, I want to have fun while I'm doing it. And I think that I've been trying to learn so much that I put so much emphasis on trying to do everything all the time. And, I really just kind of want to let it, what I have learned kind of just come together and pull it all together instead of just, kind of feeling like it's all pieced apart. And I don't know if that makes any sense, but
no, it does.
I think that's where I'm at now. I feel like I've learned so much over my last 3 fights that it's time to just put it all together. You know, I think I've been keeping it in pieces rather than letting it be, you know, this combined arsenal, this combined set of skills.
In looking at your past fights, do you feel like you weren't having enough fun in the lead up, like enjoying the journey to the fights as much?
I mean, I always love my job. I always love training, but yeah, sometimes I just feel like I put so much pressure that it sometimes takes away some of the fun. And I've been having a lot of fun training lately, so I can't say I didn't have fun in my last training camp. I did have fun in my last training camp, but I still had a lot of pressure that I was putting on myself. That was, I think pressure is good, but I think maybe it's just too much, you know.
Mm. Do you feel at all like you took your foot off the gas in the first or second fight after the Ronda fight, in hindsight?
Yeah, I think after you know, having the belt, I think it was one of those things I thought, wow, I only had 2 fights, you know, in the UFC before they gave me the title fight. And now I feel like I always felt like my career was on a fast track, and I felt like it was even on a faster track. Okay, well, now everybody's coming, and then it was like, gosh, I need to even get better, and I need to, you know, maybe I just got a little too antsy with some of that instead of just, you know, taking each day at a time. Maybe I was kind of worried about everything rather than just what was going on at the moment. I don't know. Hopefully I learned from those mistakes, and I'm able to just kind of make it all worth something now.
By the way, it does seem like your sources are correct. Doing a little research here, it does appear as though chewing gum is banned in Singapore. This according to Wikipedia and other great online resources. So yes, this is good that you found out about it. Who told you about this, by the way?
I don't remember, but they just know that I chew gum all day, and they're like, you better be careful.
Oh my gosh.
They know.
Could you imagine, like, you're on your way to the fight or the weigh-ins and someone sees you outside, you're getting some fresh air and you're chewing gum and you get arrested before your fight and the whole thing is canceled because you're chewing gum? Could you imagine what kind of international drama? That is insane.
Yeah.
I need to read more afterwards as to why this is actually a thing. It seems a little strange to me, but hey, that's why it's known to be one of the cleanest countries in the world, by the way. So maybe that's part of the reason.
Right. I think that they have, I mean, they've got like a ton of rules. I better figure them all out.
By the way, there is an exception made for dental or nicotine gum. So maybe you can get a note from your doctor or something and get away with it.
Hey, there you go.
There we go. There's always a loophole, Holly. I appreciate you doing this very much after training. And again, I know you don't love to do interviews all the time, so it's always great to talk to you before you get into training camp. And looking forward to the fight and wish you the best in it.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Have a good one.
Same to you. There she is, Holly Holm, returning to action on June 17th. How about that? Chewing gum is banned in Singapore. Who knew? Unbelievable. Could you imagine if someone sees her chewing gum on the street, day of the fight, and she gets the old axe, the hook? I feel like it has something to do with people. It says, under the rule, no gum is allowed to be bought or sold inside Singapore, and there is a $700 fine for spitting out gum on the streets. That's the real problem here.